Hi, my name is Bonnie Crisp, and I am the owner and founder of Intuitive Transitions. I'm also a Thinking into Results consultant for the Proctor and Gallagher Institute. That is owned by Bob Proctor and Sandy Gallagher. Perhaps you've heard of one or both of them. And what we deal with is results. And really that's what has to happen. Is if you're going to get the results that you want in your life. We help good people transition into great people. So why is it that with everything in your life, there seems to be a pattern? If you look at these three areas in your life, money, relationships, and happiness, there always seems to be the same pattern. If you look at money, for instance, your money seems to either stay the same or it might go up a little bit, then it'll come back down. You might have a huge jump, but then it comes back down to the same amount. Even if you look at relationships, your relationship, it might be good, and then it goes back to the same plateau. Then it might be really good, but then it goes back down. It's the same with happiness. All these things seems to be the same. Look back at your life in the past 5 years. Look at your income. When it goes up, does it go back down? Then it goes back up? How about happiness? Does it follow that same pattern? Are you starting to see this pattern in your relationships? Perhaps you're starting to see this now. Why do we live like this? What is the reasoning behind it? Over the years, I started to understand a few things. And the first thing that I noticed is that we just don't know that we can live another way. We've been programmed that it's just the way it is. Life is like a roller coaster. Have you been told that? With every up, there has to be a down. I was told that. It's just not true. So we need to look at results. And how is it that results happen? Do they just happen? I looked at that with my results. I used to think, well, they just happen. It's just circumstances. I can't do anything about it. It's just the way it is. And we're taught that throughout our whole life. It's just the way it is. And if you subscribe to that, well, it's going to be just the way it is for the rest of your life. But it's not the truth. Life is just not like that. We need to take a closer look at results. And how is it that results happen? When I learned from Bob Proctor about paradigm shifts and that the problem lies in the paradigm, well, I tell you, within 4 minutes of learning this, I was on board because it just made sense. It was so true. So what is a paradigm? Well, a paradigm is a multitude of habits. But the thing is, they're other people's habits. They're passed on from one generation to the next. And when I learned that, I was like, oh my God, you mean my habits, the results that I'm getting in my life are from another generation? And you got to think about this. Why do you like the food that you like? What is this all about? Do you like steak and peas and carrots and all those things because you like them? Or is it because someone else told you that you were going to like them? You were fed that because your mother gave that to you and your father gave that to you. Well, their father gave that to them and their father gave that. How many generations do you have to go back to figure out why you like the food that you like? And get this, you know what? Your paradigm has exclusive control over all of your habits. And you know what? You can be either the best servant or your habits can be the worst masters. I love this quote because it's so true. So we need to get into those things that you must know if you're going to get better results. So we're taught this. You have to get a goal, right? You have to know where you're going. Well, that is true. We all set goals. I set goals. I'm sure you set goals. I'm positive you set goals. So if all that we have to do is set a goal and we have to know where we're going, well, why is it that we don't get there? It seems so simple and it's so obvious. So what's the problem? These are the two things that we got to know. So what is the problem? The problem is right here. It's where you are. I'm pretty sure, well, maybe not, but if you have ever heard of the movie The Secret by Rhonda Byrne, it's based on the idea that ancient wisdom is passed down through the ages in our DNA, and that we have the power within us to create ultimate joy, health, and wealth if we choose. This is not a new idea. Thought leaders and scientists from around the world have been telling us for centuries that everything that we have ever wanted is right there for us. We have only to engage the power of the natural laws. And this is the real magic within each and every one of us. It requires only imagination and the use of the power of your thoughts. Seems simple, right? But first, we must know and understand how to live, how to use our thoughts to successfully draw what we desire most. Understanding how the universe works is the first step to moving your life to that of being a creator of your own destiny, where success can be anything that you envision. Well, if that's the truth, why are so many people stuck? We set goals, right? The problem is really where you are. The problem lies within the paradigm, your habits. Remember, a paradigm is a multitude of habits and beliefs. So you need to start making decisions. So the law states that you attract to you what you think about. But often those thoughts are negatively influenced by past experience and learned behaviors. So let's say, for example, a teacher yells at you in school and tells you if you don't learn to follow direction, then you will never, ever amount to anything in life. So then, in the future, so now as an adult, you can't listen to authority because you never, ever learned to do this. The teacher told you that if you don't learn to follow direction, then you will never amount to anything in life. So now you can't get along with your bosses because every time your boss, who is an authority figure, tells you to do something, you get an unconscious emotional response to that. Your teacher was disciplining you. So now you feel whenever your boss tells you to do something that he's disciplining you, or she, it doesn't really matter if it's a male or female. Your subconscious mind is the emotional mind. So it is just repeating the scenario unconsciously. Here's another example, one which many people I'm sure can relate to. And it's boils down to lack. It's a poverty mindset or a need for money. So if you grew up in a home where your father had to work, say, three jobs to feed the family, pay the bills, and all you know is lack, you will have developed this poverty mindset. So let's say you go to college trying to better your lot in life, and you're stuck with student loans. You go to work to get an hourly wage, never ever seem to get enough to buy anything but what's necessary. You have no savings. You believe that this is the way life is. You believe that you will never ever have enough. Even though you want more money, you haven't learned how to get it. Working more is not always the answer. The law of attraction states that what you think about, you attract. What you think about persists. So your paradigm is working harder to make more money and still never having enough is your reality. Unless and until you change that, you will never, ever have enough. But how do you change it? Well, it's all about awareness. So, how about this one? Have you ever thought of this? Think about the lucky people. You want some of what the lucky few are privileged to have. And the laws of the system will work for you the same way they work for the lucky few. Do you think that they are at the right place at the right time? So perhaps you have not recognized that by not focusing your energy and your consciousness on what you want to become, you become the random manifestation of all the energy that you've experienced, which has developed into your current perspective. You have subconsciously put out to the universe everything you believe about the way things are, that there is lack, not enough to go around, that this is what you've received. Change what you put out, and you will change what you get back. It's all about awareness, perception, focus. These are the things that you need to focus on. I'll talk a little bit about perception here. So let's say You have $100 in your checking account, and you feel as though you're broke because you're accustomed to having more. But your neighbor has $100 in his checking account, but he is joyful because it's more than he has ever had. It's still $100, but its value is viewed differently because of its relation to what is unusual or what's known or present. You can think of it another way. $100 won't go very far when buying a new car, but it will be more than enough to buy yourself a movie ticket. The amount is irrelevant. How you view the amount is what's important. Note the events of these two people, each with $100, could have another scenario. So you're used to having much more, but you're grateful that you still have $100 left in your checking account. Your neighbor, who now has more than he has ever had, might feel as though, oh, it's just a fluke, and he'll never see that much money again. Now he's depressed and he's angry because he had a taste of the good life and he fears it will soon be taken away from him. Can you now begin to see how perspective is everything? The bottom line is this: the condition your life is in now is the result of your lack of intention to make it something else. That doesn't make you a bad person, just slightly misguided. You're still living like the helpless child who was told what to do and how to behave, too small and too powerless for your imagination to be heard. So how do you expand your level of awareness? So I want you to let this yellow dot represent your level of awareness. Can you imagine if you expanded your level of awareness just that much? I want you to think about this. A person does not earn $100,000 a year because they want to earn $1,000 a year. They earn $100,000 a year because they're not aware of how to earn $100,000 a month. If you expanded your level of awareness just this much, can you imagine how much more you would see? How much more you could earn? How much better your relationships would be? How much happier you would be? And then if you expanded it that much. So how do you do this? Effective education combined with professional coaching over a reasonable period of time will expand a person's level of awareness, and it improves the quality of your life in every aspect of your life. What happens is you eliminate the darkness when you turn on the light. You know what's a really, really sad thing? It's really sad when you see a child who's afraid of the dark. But you know what's worse? When you see an adult who's afraid of the light. Expanding your level of awareness improves everything in your life. And I tell you that everything that you are seeking is seeking you. You just have to start to see it. The more you expand your level of awareness, the better off you are. It's all about awareness. This is one of my favorite quotes. Everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It cannot be any other way. This is a philosophy that is physics. Albert Einstein knew this way back in 1923. And it's taken a lot of people a long, long time to understand this concept. And once you understand mind science, everything that you want, you can have. Everything. To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm. And I know you are able. Everybody is able. The matter is, are you willing? Are you willing to do what you want to do? So what will you learn? In the first module, you are going to learn how to get clear direction in your life, how to find your soul's purpose. Have you ever had a feeling that you were meant for more, but you were just not sure what that was? You're going to learn how to effortlessly begin to live a life filled with abundance and purpose. Then you're going to learn in lesson 2 how to bridge the gap between what you know how to do and what you're currently doing. You're going to locate those paradigms so you know what is blocking your success. You're going to tap into knowledge in your mind and start using it to get the results you want. There's also a sneak peek in lesson 2 into paradigms, so you can start to understand how to change your life. You know, manifestation is a continuous journey. You are constantly evolving, sending out thoughts and attracting thoughts of others. What you've become is a result of all the thoughts you've been creating since birth, many of which are simply handed down to you by your parents, teachers, and others. But you can change your world through the same system of patterns you've been subconsciously subjected to all of your life. You'll see the world with new eyes and consciously act out your vision. You won't need to believe something you don't see or be asked to see something in which you don't believe. You'll move beyond your current world into a life filled with possibilities. You'll feel safe, and you'll bring your new realities into everything you do, your work, your relationships, and your life. You'll be able to distill the essence of everything you've ever lived into a new understanding of creation, not as you've been taught in a religious sense, but as a literal manifestation of your own thoughts and intentions. Your past and what you've learned and believed about has, up till now, dictated any future you've lived and will continue until you learn the basic laws of nature. And when you shift your thinking, you'll begin to view everything you've ever knew differently. You'll discover that there were many instances in which you didn't recognize the truth and other moments that were witnessed completely out of context. It will all change. Lesson 3, you're going to remove the demons. I call them demons because within the subconscious mind, you have paradigms. You have things that are just not true. And you're going to understand what they are. You're going to take the power away from the paradigm and start controlling your life. How to remove that little voice that criticizes you and start achieving your goals, dreams, and the life you want by setting them on autopilot. In lesson 4, it's called the Secret Genie. You're going to start using the Secret Genie to 10x your success in all areas of your life. You're going to start moving forward on the things that you want. You're going to use the power of the law of cause and effect to draw everything that you want to you instead of the things that you don't want. I love this lesson. In lesson 5, you're going to learn all about the higher faculties. You're going to start to get order in your life by shutting down the information overload. You're going to learn what these higher faculties are. You have such infinite power sitting there waiting inside of you. And you're going to learn how to develop them and draw everything that you need in life. Lesson 6. It's all about the self-image. You can never, ever outperform your self-image. You're going to create inner confidence, success, a winning image that you deserve. You're going to move your self-image into harmony with the dreams that you desire. Lesson 7, another one of my favorites, the terror barrier. You're going to understand what fear is and why it stops you from getting what you really, really want. You're going to learn how to get past that. And it's going to teach you how to love it and to use it as a guide for your success. You're no longer going to be led around like a bull with a loop between your nose. You're going to be leading yourself. Lesson 8, praxis. You know, success does not happen to you. It happens because of you and what you believe. You're going to integrate your behaviors with your beliefs. If you believe you can do it, then why aren't you doing it? Driving your beliefs into your subconscious mind is really how you get results. If you do not do that, your next 3 years are going to look like your last. Lesson 9, the magic word. These tools change your life, and they change everyone's life around you. It truly is magic. And when you start using these tools, your relationships and your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions are going to improve. And you're going to love the way you live each and every day. Lesson 10 is all about leadership. And if you want to improve in a big way, you need to think bigger so you get bigger. The culture in your home, your business, and your organization is a direct reflection of the leader, you. Leadership qualities must be developed. And if you don't start developing confidence, emotional control, things like that, you're not going to get the things you want. Becoming great at seeing the greatnesses in others is an amazing tool. Lesson 11, leaving everyone with the impression of increase. The technique for giving back does not cost a penny. It's free. It ensures that the universe brings back what you give tenfold. That's huge. The best thing that you can do every day is give back. It's not only fun, but it's amazingly rewarding. You'll enjoy every lesson in this course, and you have it for life. It's amazing. And then there's masterminding. This gets you quantum leaps in your results. You use the power of 2 or more to generate more ideas. How can that not benefit you and everybody else? All the heavy hitters are using this technique. Everybody is doing it. You really, really are going to love everything that you are going to learn in this program. So what is this program? Well, it was developed by Bob Proctor and Sandy Gallagher. Bob Proctor is the leading man in thinking. The mindset that this man has is one of the most amazing I have ever found in my entire life. And if you research him, you will find that it is the best program that you could ever find. It's not just for corporations, it's for individuals. It's for your mind. And when you get into mind science, you're going to have to look back at your life in 6 months, because you're going to need a telescope to see where you were to where you are. So what you need to do is you need to click that button below, and you need to set up a meeting with me, because your life is going to change for the better. You are going to start getting the results that you want. The human brain has remarkable ability to reorganize itself by growing new nerve cells, connections, in response to any number of situations. Whatever it believes, it can do. It takes only 17 seconds to begin to process, to manifest anything that you want. From 17 seconds to 68 seconds, it can complete the task. But you will need to practice or put the time in so that your brain begins to understand that this is your new reality. And if you do not do this, nothing is going to change for you. You need to know that there's something you need to do differently. You must get different results if you want a different life. You must start with you. You cannot stay stuck in the same programming. Right now, you have outdated software. And if you want new software, what are you going to do? Are you going to stay the same? Or are you going to make a conscious decision to get a better life? Learning these methods is what is going to free your mind and yourself from the things and the results that you are getting. Most people, and I would have to say 97% of the world, just keeps doing the same things over and over. But not you. No, you are going to make a conscious decision to get better results in your life. So, in other words, your supercomputer, that is your brain, that is operating on old software, that is essentially plagued with viruses and spyware, that is limiting your belief systems, can be changed, can be updated, can be cleaned, and that negative story you're telling yourself, your beliefs about those stories and your judgments and fears and preconceived notions about their consequences are all a myth created in your subconscious mind. So no matter what you learn, the subconscious acts like an old school editor, telling you that this or that is unacceptable and directing you to an old way. You need to update it so that you can go the right way. And that old way just isn't working for you. It's imprinted so strongly that you actually believe it's the truth. So taking this program, Thinking into Results, will rid your subconscious mind of the old viruses, the old spyware, that old limiting belief that you cannot have it all. It will rid it to a new system, a new belief that you can have it all. So go ahead, book a session with me, and we will update that programming. Thank you very much for listening. You have a wonderful day, and we'll see you for our session.